Hello, my name is Kenny Chang, and I'm currently a senior in computer science, and today I have chosen to talk about web application security. The reason I decided to research this topic is due to my potential career path. Now more than ever, people and businesses around the globe are launching their own business and personal web applications. Especially with the current situation of COVID-19, web development has never been more in demand. According to the Department of Labor, the need for developers are increasing faster than there are students graduating. This is why boot camps and popular tutorial YouTubes have been increasing every year. Web development is also a way to stay in tune with current technologies and is a perfect way to ensure that you will always be developing in a modern situation. This might sound great for programmers and their careers, but they are not the only ones benefiting. With more and more people connecting online and web applications asking for sensitive information, cyber attackers are also benefiting highly from these new innovations. There are many ways for attackers to gain access to penetrate a web application. OWASP has provided a top 10 standard awareness for application security, and as you mentioned in lecture, you can go on for a week about all the different attacks and preventions. Here I'm going to talk about the ones that I thought related to me and that I found important as a future web developer. First, I have injection, and this is when an attacker basically manipulates a database with fake information to gain access to personal data or whatever is being stored on the database. The potential risk involved in a successful injection can result in stolen identity, sensitive information, or huge financial loss. Next, we have broken authentication, which is simply faulty authentication practices such as keeping default passwords, well-known passwords, or just poor encryption. Since many companies use one brand of computer from buying in bulk, keeping default settings can easily allow attackers entrance to your systems. And this happens more commonly than some may imagine. Next, we have broken access controls. This is when attackers can modify or tamper with certain potentially outdated web application URLs or JSON web tokens, similar to broken authentication. This can give attackers access to higher privileges and complete access to our web application. Sensitive data exposure is an important one because of the topics I covered in the last slide. With the ever-growing internet, there is more data in transit than ever before. With online payments basically becoming a standard now, uh, due to websites like Amazon, weak encryption of this type of information can lead to easy decryption techniques, allowing attackers easy access to our credit card information or just online payment credentials. Lastly, I have security misconfiguration, and this is when outdated files or directories are still active but have no real use, which can potentially give attackers another access point. As we saw in our homework assignment, it is not very difficult to get past poorly designed security features or stored files in our directories. Although there are many vulnerabilities, there are also ways to defend these attacks. With injection, we can ensure that our code is not accessing the database without intent. This means that we should ensure that anytime we are connecting to the database and grabbing very highly sensitive information, it is only when we are asking it to and never in a random instance. With broken authentication, one popular practice is multi-factor authentication, two-way factoring. This is when you might log in and then you have an email with a security code or maybe an external device to confirm that it is you logging in. And although this is not perfect, it does work well. And personally, I can say it has not always worked for me, and I've actually been attacked in these situations. Uh, for broken access control, we just basically have to ensure that policies and access rights are always being updated and monitored. This is easy to slack behind, and then everything can just get sloppy, and maybe there's a small little vulnerability in our policies which can just give one user complete access. Sensitive data exposure. This is basically we should identify what is our most sensitive information and ensure that it's being properly encrypted. And for security misconfiguration, uh, like you always say, just make sure we're updating our software and configurations and ensuring that they are kept up to date with best practices. Now, how can this relate to the real world? Well, as I mentioned earlier, web applications are being created more and more common nowadays, and everything is getting more modern. Everyone has technology in their hands. As you can see, 82% of vulnerabilities are due to the poor code. So that's directly related to developers and web developers, uh, ensuring that the code is tightly knit, refactoring, testing, and 9 out of 10 web applications right now can be attacked online. And out of all these web applications, a lot of them have already been breached with sensitive data, as we have seen in the past with many, many different websites. Another thing that is a concern for the future is all the new technologies being created almost every year, almost daily sometimes. We have new technologies such as 5G, um, artificial intelligence, and machine learning is a very hot topic nowadays. There are almost chatbots for any website you access that can just, they'll talk to you like, hey, what can I help you with? Oh, I just need to confirm this is you. Give me your identification. How do we know that's a real chatbot, or how do we know that's, someone injecting their own program and asking you for information to confirm? Mobile devices, almost everyone nowadays has a cell phone, which means everyone's always accessing the internet, talking to people online, maybe signing up for websites that they don't know about. And then toolkits. Nowadays, you don't have to be an actual hacker to hack a website due to all the different bots and toolkits available online now. Almost anyone can just pay for one and gain access or spy on someone with all the different technologies online now. And this brings up the topic of just general use of technology. Everyone is basically connected to the internet now, and some people just may not know how to navigate it properly, and this can just really bring up many vulnerabilities and just accidental use and giving out your information to people. And one thing I found interesting doing my research online was Operation Firewall, and this was done by a group from a website called Shadow Crew, and one of the main attackers, his name was Albert Gonzalez, and they basically used a SQL injection that allowed many backdoor implementations for him and his shadow crew, and they were using fake usernames like King Chili, Segvet, and the whole all these numbers, and they were able to actually gain over 90 million credit card and debit card um, numbers and use them online to buy things. And I think he even threw himself a $75,000 birthday party. And one of the companies that were attacked was TJ Maxx, and they reported a loss of over $172 million. And here we have a picture of when the Secret Service completely shut down the website and basically apprehended most of the people. I know Albert Gonzalez is currently facing a 20-year sentence and may not be out until around 2025. And in conclusion, I just, you know, one of the biggest things we can all practice as developers is just writing efficient and well-written code. This is easier said than done, as most developers we like to just go fast, agile development, but just ensuring that we're taking our time to make sure that we have security implemented in place and that we are testing along the way. And as technology is growing faster and faster, research is very important, ensuring that we are staying up to date with the most current technologies and new attack types and new hacks online, and finding out the best practices and the most current ways to prevent these, and just overall just staying persistent and just knowing that this is always going to be a back and forth kind of war between attackers and developers, and just overall use common sense and don't give your information to people you don't know. Ensure that you are using VPNs and just not and just using common sense, teaching people around you to use the right websites and who to give their information to. I believe that as technology grows, we are going to get more and more people being attacked online, and more people that are vulnerable to identity theft. And just overall, as a developer, I believe that this is going to be a constant war, but we will be able to stay ahead. Thank you for your time.